He's too old to play in this tournament. So that's a quotation from Miguel Najdorf in 1954 in Montevideo, Uruguay. He was facing the Grandmaster Ossip Bernstein, who was 72 years of age, and that gives me great hope. If at 72 years of age, someone can produce such a brilliant game with unexpected moves, such level of sharp tacticality, is just amazing. You have to see this one. Now, I'm not going to go in this particular video through all the moves from the very beginning because I'm afraid that might take an hour or maybe more. So I nice keep it nice and short. If you want an extended version, please just tell me in the comments. So I'm stopping now at move here 29 because what's going to happen, it's a brilliancy. It's one of those things that you have to see it, and he did see until to the very end. And boy, what a game. And it didn't age well, right, for Najdorf to say he's too old to play in this tournament. Just wait and see what a 72 years old grandmaster can produce. So it's White's turn. Ossip Bernstein plays with the white pieces, and he did something, right? And what a move that is, because he actually sacking the queen, not moving the queen, moving something else. Ooh, get ready for this, guys. Rook to e8. Brilliancy, brilliancy, brilliancy. Right. So now some of us would say, okay, so what's the big deal? Can't I just take the guy's queen? Well, just to tell you, Miguel Najdorf didn't take the queen on c2, in case you wonder, because he saw something, and actually it's a little bit untouchable. You can't touch this. The name of the song, I wasn't a great fan, but anyway, I just remembered. So if you take the queen, if you're getting now autopilot and grab stuff, you're going to be punished very quickly with rook takes f8, checky. Where do you go? Well, you have to play h7. What do you think is the next move that punishes? Boom, bishop to g8. And you got two choices. One ends the game very quickly with checkmate. The other one prolongs the suffering. Practically, black should be resigning at this stage, but let's just continue for the sake of having it clearly in our minds. So if you play g6, you're going to have bishop to f7 and... Oh, sorry, not bishop to f7. We're going to have rook takes f6, and that's the checkmate. Now that one, that was belonging to a different scenario. So you can't go anywhere. Everything is covered and all, so that's the checkmate. If you go to h6, you're still going to play with white exactly the same stuff. You're going to play rook to f6, and the only way for them to continue the game is blocking with the queen. So that amounts to pretty much getting the stuff back, the queen back that you've given at the beginning of the sequence. They taken. You're going to continue with very normal check now. You're going to continue chess, playing something like rook to e7, attacking this guy twice together with the bishop on b2. Knight can't really successfully go anywhere. It's not going to work because this stuff is just simply going down. If you move the knight, I'm going to take the knight. If you move the bishop on c8, I'm going to take the knight regardless with check. So that is the punishment if black had taken the queen on c2. Now let me just go back and show you what actually happened in the game after this brilliancy. Now Miguel Najdorf continues with bishop f5. Absolutely sick. Probably in almost all universes, myself, I would react here with g takes f5, which still winning is still great. You got big advantage and big positional striking power. Great, right? Because you attack the queen with tempo. But the 72 years old super grandmaster Ossip Bernstein, he didn't take the bishop. I would take because I'm a chicken and I'd take on f5, but he didn't. Boy, oh boy, he didn't. He took on a8. Voila, he took on a8. And now, of course, some of you would say, yeah, but the queen. Yeah, but we go back to the same rabbit hole. We go with the check. This guy goes. We're going to continue with more checks here. Don't forget that if we got some rook h6, there is always rook to f6 capturing. So it's an absolute devastating things happening here. So you can't hold on to the position. You already lost. So let me go back. So bishop c2 doesn't really cut it. What else is here? So he took with the rook now, and now Bernstein takes, g takes f5, attacking the black queen, and queen goes over to h5. Why? Another scary little thing here. Queen wants potentially to eventually to get the h3 and g2 checkmate, right? Now, I would have panicked because that's what I normally do in this kind of super sharp position, and I shouldn't, because if a 72-year-old can have the blood of a jackal here and just couldn't care, I should have said crocodile. Okay, don't matter. So cool as a cucumber, Bernstein here. He didn't panic and anything. I mean, he was 72, but boy, he played like a 20 years old Abdustorov or something. That's what came to mind. So he didn't panic. And of course, if you're thinking about doing stuff like Queen E4, I mean, don't forget that Bishop on B2 is hanging, you know. So, I mean, you got a big problem here. It just doesn't work. Nothing really works unless you play the only move that saves you, and that is Rook E4. It's great. It's absolutely decisive, beautiful Rook E4. And you would say, yeah, but how does that stop Queen H3 and Queen G2? It stops it because there is another resource that White needs to keep in mind. And the resource is the bishop on c4, which is going to start to play a little bit defensive. But hey, you've got to counterattack, to counterplay, to respond to a checkmate threat. It's queen g2 checkmate. So bishop to f1 just stops it. And also the rook now covers all the fourth rank squares, so there is no queen g4 incoming and stuff like that. So what did Najdorf play? He took the pawn. And now again, I mean, the level, the sharpness, the preciseness, the rigor of Ossip Bernstein is just absolutely unbelievable. It's absolute model for all of us. You know, if they could do it at 72, why not we? So rook to h4, sick, check, and of course exposing the queens to a trade. And you would say, yeah, but I take with a pawn, and even if you take my knight takes, true, but then the bishop takes on f6 with check. And not just that. Do you know what's the big thing with the bishop on f6 now checking the king? There is another incredibly paramount crucial element here. And that is that the bishop on f6 also guards the d8. What is that? It's the promotion square. The promotion square. That means the rook is going to fall. They're going to have to give up on the rook to stopping that promoting. And that just game over. So king to g8, and Bernstein pushed the d6 to d7. Queen is coming. The black knight doesn't have any game. It's a ridiculous non-existent piece. You can't go nowhere. And again, the focus of White's attention is d8, which cannot be stopped. I mean, whatever you try to play, queen is coming, rook's going to have to take, bishop's going to take, goodbye. Okay, two bishops versus a knight that is pretty much unable to do nothing remarkable. Game over. So Miguel Najdorf resigned here, and I'm going to end up exactly saying his quotation. This guy is too old to play in the tournament. Well, it didn't. He actually proved he was eternally young and laser focus. Thanks for watching, guys. Share the vid for Christ's sake, and then tell me if you want an extended version. So let's have fun for like 1 hour, but don't leave too early, right? Cheers, fellas.